Okay, ready for page 2. Which equation represents the pattern shown in the table? Here's our number one hint we want to look at. When 0 is the input, 19 is the output. None of these have 19 as the output, so it's not worth looking at any of the other equations. This is my y-intercept over 0 up negative 19, because plugging 0 into x is going to zero it out. All right, let's look at 8. Which equation represents the pattern shown in the table? Immediately, I go again to my 0. That's going to cancel these two options out, but then I have two choices. So now I use another input-output. Is 4 minus 5 7? No. Is 3 times 4 minus 5 equal to 7? This one's a no, so this one's a yes. I can take this equation and prove it by putting in the output and the related input and seeing if I get a true number sentence when I simplify. All right, next up, identify the slope of the line. As soon as I see that it's in y is equal to mx plus b format, I know the coefficient is the slope, and this is my y-intercept. So my slope is equal to 3. What is the slope represented by this line? I need to solve for y before I can figure that out. So I'll subtract 2/3 x from each side. And then I'll go ahead and I will divide everything by 3. Now this is tricky. I want you to think of it. I'll rewrite this as 1/3, multiplying by 1/3 instead of dividing by 3. So my y is equal to negative 2/9 x plus this 1/3 times this 1/3 times that is equal to that. This is what I care about. It asked me to find the slope, so my slope is going to be this coefficient to the x. And I don't see the right answer. All right, we're going to go with E, negative 2/9, because that's the right answer. All right, write your answer in the box. What is the slope of the line represented by this equation? In order for me to find the slope in y is equal to mx plus b, I need to solve for y. So I'll go ahead and subtract 7x from each side. 9y is equal to negative 7x minus 5. When I divide by 9, my y is equal to negative 7/9 x minus 5/9. The slope is what I'm looking for, so it's negative 7/9. When I need to find the slope from the graph, I'm going to find integer coordinates. And the integer coordinates are where I see the graph going through the grid lines. And then I need to count my rise over my run. 1, 2, 3, 4, and negative 1. So my slope is going to be equal to negative 4 over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. All right, next page. When we want to find the slope of the line passing through the points, it's a formula that's involving the names of the two coordinate points. So I have y2 minus y1, which would be 1 minus 3, over x2 minus x1. it's very important that you do your subtraction in the same order. 1 minus 3 over negative 5 minus 2 is equal to the slope. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Negative 5 minus 2 is negative 7. Therefore, your slope is equal to positive 2/7. Those negatives cancel out. Determine the slope of the line. I have my slope is equal to 3 minus negative 2 over 5 minus 5. My slope is equal to 3 plus 2, 5 over 0. Because I see a 0, I know there's no slope. Therefore, the slope is undefined. This is a vertical line with an undefined slope, and I know that because they have the same x value. All right. Determine the slope of the line passing between the 2 points. This is input of 3, output of 6. Input of negative 2, output of 6. My slope is equal to the difference between my y's over the difference between my x's. Because I see this here is 0, I know that this is a HOI, a horizontal line with a slope of 0 and a y only in the equation. Those matching output values tell me that. All right, if you are a person who likes doing the slope snake, then you have 0 minus negative 2 over negative 1 minus negative 4. This becomes 0 plus 2 is equal to 2, and negative 1 plus positive 4 gives me positive 3. All right, the graph of the line N is shown, which is the closest in value to the value or of the slope. All right, so when I look here, I'm going to find an integer coordinate, and there's an integer coordinate, and there's an integer coordinate. So I have a rise 1 and a run of 1, 2, 3, 4. Over 1, back 4. Up 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like my rise over my run is going to be 1 over negative 4. That's going to be choice B. Alright, the graph of line L is shown, which is the closest value to the slope. I have a negative slope, and it looks like a rise or run of negative 1/2. So we'll choose option C. For both of these lines, they are both decreasing, so I know I can cross off any positive slope for each line. In this one, I know it's a relatively flat slope, so it's not going to be this steep value. For this one, I know it's a relatively flat slope, so it's not going to be this steep value.